All right, thanks guys. Welcome to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for NHL, college basketball, and NBA for this Wednesday, this hump day. We're almost there, guys. The weekend is almost here, and we went, 8-0 in our college basketball leans yesterday. At least that's what they're telling me. So anyway, if you want to refer back to that, feel free to take a look at our college picks from yesterday. But you know what? That's in the past. Let's go ahead and move on and get to business, beginning in the NHL. Got a couple games tonight, 4 games, short slate. But let's go ahead and dive into Washington at Philadelphia. 7:30 puck drop at the Wells Fargo Center in South Philly. Washington opened the betting as the $1.30 favorite. Total open at 6.5. And since those markets opened that one up, not a whole lot of movement on the total, although we did see a 10-cent fade of Washington in the early going here. They moved down to minus 120. Once again, a 10-cent fade of Washington. So once again, the Caps open 130 down to minus 120. Totals at 6.5. 67% of the consensus is leaning toward Washington. 77% of the consensus is shaded toward the over in this matchup here. Now, Philadelphia is plus 105 on the money line. We have Braden Holtby projected in net for Washington. Elliott projected in net for the Flyers. Now, when it comes to Philadelphia, they got a couple key guys on the injury report. Neuwirth is actually still on the IR. Jake Voracek is questionable for tonight's action, and Nolan Patrick's also questionable for tonight's game as well. Philadelphia is winning just 32% of their games, taking on teams over 550, so really struggling against those top-tier teams. Now, Washington, they won their last 4 straight. They're starting to get hot here. They're winning 67% of their games, taking on teams allowing more than 2.9 goals per contest. Now, this Washington offense is scoring 3.42 goals per contest. That's going to rank 6th in the NHL. They also rank 13th in road shots allowed, so other teams really not getting a whole lot of opportunities against this Capitals team. Now, total-wise, Philadelphia is 17-8 to the over, taking on teams over 550. So I'm going to lean toward the road favorite in this matchup here. Give me Washington minus 120 and the over 6.5 goals, and that one should be a fun game tonight if we see a lot of goals. But anyway, welcome to the show. Once again, just want to take a look at a couple lines and personal leans out for, once again, NHL, college basketball, and the NBA. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. The weekend is almost here. I also want to remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. You guys are going to definitely want to check that out. I'm 7-1 in my last 8 picks on that website. We're also doing incredible in the NBA over the past 3 weeks. If you want to take a look at those records, that's a part of the free content. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/BrockPage and just go to the posts section. You can look up my record right there. It's free access to anybody who wants to take a look at that. Now, what I do on that website, I do release my personal plays. I don't make 8 to 12 personal plays a day. It's normally 1 to 2. But access to that daily best play, it's only going to cost you $1.99 per month. And once again, with a documented record of 7-1 in my last 8 picks, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed to that. I'm not the end-all, be-all. Information is power. There's a bunch of different sources of information on YouTube, on SiriusXM. There's a lot of great sports betting information out there. So take bits and pieces from everybody. Tail the hot capper, fade the cold ones, and ultimately trust your gut. There's no need to just tail one guy. Information's power. If you see a bunch of cold cappers leaning toward one side, fade them. If you see a bunch of hot guys leaning toward one side, maybe you want to tail them if your gut says, you know, if your gut was in agreement. So it's information. It's entertainment. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's certainly a lot of fun. So patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a couple of seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. That's it for my shameless plug. Let's go ahead and get back into some more lines of personal leans. Sorry to bore you with all that crap. Anyway, all starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Maple Leafs at the Canucks. 9 o'clock puck drop in Vancouver. Toronto opened the betting as the $1.80 favorite. Total open at 6. And we're seeing good movement on this game when it comes to the money line and the total. Total moved up to 6.5 goals, and the money line moved up 20 cents. Toronto's now minus $2. So once again, the Leafs open 180 up to minus 200. Total open 6 up to 6.5. 78% of the consensus is leaning toward Toronto. 83% is shaded toward the over. Right now, Vancouver's plus 160 on the money line. Toronto plus 135 on the puck line. Anderson projected a net for Toronto. Markstrom projected a net for Vancouver. The Canucks are just 1-6 straight up in their last 7. They've also dropped 8 out of their last 10. Their offense is scoring just 2.7 goals per contest. That's going to rank 27th in the NHL. They also rank 27th in offensive shots at home, so really not providing a lot of chances for themselves to put the puck in the net. Now, Toronto on the other side, completely different story. They're winning almost 70% of their games when Freddie Anderson makes the start. They're also 6-1 straight up in their last 7. Toronto ranks first in the NHL in road scoring. They're putting the puck in the net 3.62 goals per game on average on the road. So once again, first in road scoring, 3.62 goals per game in that category there. They also rank 5th in road offensive shots. They're shooting the puck 33 times on the road, so giving themselves plenty of opportunities when traveling. Now, total-wise, Vancouver's just 38% to the over when the line was 6 or higher. This is a tough play. This is a lean show, so probably not a play I would make in life. But I got to lean Toronto minus 1.5 and the under 6.5 goals in that one. If I had to really hunker down and make a play gun to head, I'd probably lean toward the under 6.5 in that one. I like that play there. But anyway, Toronto minus 1.5 on the puck line, under 6.5 goals in that matchup there. All right, next game, Blues at the Ducks, 10 o'clock puck drop in Anaheim. St. Louis open 175, total 5.5. Not a whole lot of movement in this one. We've seen a nickel move toward St. Louis in the early going here. They're now $1.80. So once again, the Blues open 175 up to minus 180. Total's 5.5. 77% are leaning toward the Blues, 71% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Ducks are plus 145, Blues plus 160 on the puck line. Binnington projected a net for the Blues, Gibson projected a net for the Ducks. St. Louis is winning 71% of their games when Jordan Binnington makes the start. They also rank first in the NHL in road goals allowed. Already getting that accent down. St. Louis first in road goals allowed, 2.3 goals per contest in that category there. Anaheim, they're dead last in scoring. They're scoring just 2.1 goals per contest on average. They've dropped 5 out of their last 7 games as well. Now, total-wise, Anaheim is 19-13 to the under on their home ice. St. Louis, 20-10-2 to the under on the road. Clear-cut under for me in this matchup here. Once again, a very tough play, tough spot. I don't know if they're going to score enough goals to cover a puck line, so I got to lay the very expensive number and lean towards St. Louis minus 180 and the under 5.5 goals in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for the show. It is, or not for the show, but for our NHL slate. It is going to be Flames at the Golden Knights. This should be a good one, guys. 10:30 puck drop in Sin City. Now, Vegas opened the betting as the $1.30 favorite, total 5.5. We're seeing a lot of movement on this one, and we're seeing Vegas take a lot of money in the early going here. 15-cent move toward the Golden Knights. They're now minus 145. Total moved up to 6. So once again, Vegas open 130 up to 145. Total open 5.5 up to 6. 51% are leaning Calgary, 76% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Flames are plus 120 on the money line. Vegas plus 175, laying the goal and a half. Smith projected a net for Calgary. Fleury projected a net for the Golden Knights. Now, if you like Calgary in this spot here, you might not be in a bad spot. They're 7-2 straight up in their last 9. They're winning 61% of their games when Mike Smith makes the start. Their offense is scoring 3.6 goals per contest on average. That's going to rank 4th in the NHL. Meanwhile, Vegas, they won just 8 out of 20 games, taking on teams over 550, really struggling against those top-tier teams. Their offense is scoring just about 3 goals per contest on average. They just barely got there. Now, when it comes to the total, Vegas is just 31% of the over, taking on teams over 550. So I got to lean toward a rare underdog in the NHL. I normally don't lean toward the dogs, especially on the road in the NHL, but I got to do it. I'm going to lean Calgary, plus 120. Great price point there. And the under 6 goals in that matchup. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college